Welcome to Kevin Deal Photography, where I take you on my journey through photography. On today's episode, I'm going to be reflecting on 5 years of use with the RF28-70 f2 lens. I'm pleased to announce the release of my Capture One and Lightroom presets, Metamorphic Portraits, The Sound of Silver, and Rangefinder. These are all available for purchase at my website. Go to kevindealphotography.com or check out a link in the description below. And now, on to today's episode. Welcome to today's episode. If you're not familiar with Kevin Deal Photography, we do gear reviews, tips, techniques, and tutorials, and sometimes we dive into film. If any of that sounds appealing to you, click the subscribe button below. For all of you who are back to Kevin Deal Photography, welcome back. And for all of you who are new to this channel, at the beginning of every episode, I ask for donations to BIG, which is an organization that helps intellectually disabled adults adapt to jobs in the real world. I also want to thank all of you who donate to my super thanks link. With those donations, I buy more gear, which I then review on this channel, and hopefully help you all with your buying decisions. But to the subject of today's episode, my love letter to the RF28-70 f2 USML lens. I love this guy. We're going to dive right into it. So, it's not every day that a utilitarian lens earns legendary status. That kind of reputation is usually reserved for flagship prime lenses with ultra-wide apertures and exceptional optics. That's the kind of spec sheet that typically blows us away. But every now and then, a lens comes along that defies expectations. About 7 years ago, Canon did just that with the release of the RF28-70 f2. I didn't jump into the RF mount until a year later, and I picked up the 28-70 in early 2020. So that puts me at 5 years of ownership, and in that time, it's easily become my most used lens professionally. For transparency, this episode is not going to be a review. I already did that when I released my full review of this lens a few years back. If you're interested, you can click the card over my shoulder, or you can check out a link in the description below. In today's episode, I'm reflecting on 5 years with the RF28-70 f2, sharing some of my favorite images I've taken with it, and breaking down the 5 key reasons why you might want to consider adding this lens to your professional kit. The first reason you should consider purchasing the RF28-70 f2 is the professional build and weather sealing. The RF28-70 f2 is built like a tank. As part of Canon's L series, it's designed for professional use with rugged construction and full weather sealing. Perfect for photographers who work in challenging environments. I personally use this lens in downpours, on sand dunes, and I've had it in airplanes, in bags where it was run into by flight attendants with their drink carts. After taking well over 100,000 shots with this lens, it still looks nearly new. If you're concerned about how it holds up in the real world, take it from me, you've got nothing to worry about. Another standout feature of the RF28-70 f2 is the exceptional autofocus performance. Canon equipped this lens with their advanced USM ultrasonic motor system, which delivers fast, silent, and highly accurate focusing. For event photographers, wedding shooters, and videographers, that quiet precision makes a real difference, especially in high-pressure moments when you need to trust your gear implicitly. When paired with the eye detection autofocus on any of the Canon R series bodies, this lens becomes a surgical tool. It locks onto subjects with speed and tenacity, making it easier to maintain critical focus on faces, even as they move unpredictably through a scene. Whether you're tracking a bride walking down the aisle, capturing candid interactions at an event, or filming a talking head video segment, the autofocus performance here is consistently reliable. It's also worth noting that this lens performs beautifully across a range of Canon mirrorless bodies, from the original EOS R to the R5 Mark II, R6, R7, R8, and even the more compact R50. The fact that it consistently nails focus on all of these bodies speaks to how well it integrates with the Canon mirrorless ecosystem. And let's give some credit to the engineers behind this lens. Moving that much glass with this level of speed and precision is no small feat. The motor inside the 28-70 f2 is doing a lot of heavy lifting, and it does so seamlessly. That performance doesn't just justify this lens's price tag, it helps you deliver professional results with confidence. I mean, we are talking about a 95mm piece of glass. The third reason you should consider getting the RF28-70 f2, the constant f2 aperture. This is the fastest aperture available in any full-frame zoom lens, and it was a groundbreaking innovation when Canon released it. It took other companies years of research and development to catch up because a lens like this had never been done before. The f2 aperture delivers excellent low-light performance and beautiful background separation, giving you more creative control over depth of field, especially between 50 and 70mm where subject isolation really shines. This lens fundamentally shifted part of the professional photography landscape. For years, the 24-70 f2.8 was the go-to workhorse for event and wedding photographers. And for those of you who don't shoot Canon or Sony, it still is, largely because their systems don't usually offer a 28-70 f2 alternative. But many of us, myself included, are more than happy to trade 4mm on the wide end for a full extra stop of light. As a wedding and event photographer, this lens lets me cover almost an entire day without switching glass. I also shoot college graduations a couple times a year, and during the pre-ceremony, I'll use a few lenses for creative variety, but once pomp and circumstances begins, the RF28-70 is locked onto my R5 Mark II for hours. It's wide enough to capture the environment and tell the story of each graduate, and then when they walk the stage and pose for a photo, 70mm gives me enough reach to grab a clean, flattering close-up. The students often order prints, so the image quality has to deliver, and it does. Plus, the lighting in the venue that I typically shoot at is less than ideal, so having that extra stop of light at f2 is an absolute lifesaver. This lens also lives on my camera at weddings. The only time I ever take it off is when I'm doing the couples portraits. That lasts about 30 minutes. The rest of the wedding day, I'm using this and this only, and it's really all I need. That brings me to my next point of why you should consider this lens. Versatility. The 28-70 f2 covers a wide to short telephoto focal range while delivering image quality that rivals some prime lenses. With edge-to-edge sharpness, excellent contrast, and minimal distortion, it effectively replaces several primes in one body, especially if you shoot events, portraits, weddings, or editorial work. This can't be overstated. Traditionally, prime lenses were your go-to when you had to have full control over your environment and wanted to extract every last bit of image quality from a shot. That's still technically true in the RF system, but both the RF primes and zooms have taken a serious leap forward in optical performance. I'd argue that the 28-70 f2 zoom matches or even exceeds the image quality of Canon's previous generation of L series primes. And for many professionals, that's more than good enough. The quality and range this zoom delivers is genuinely impressive. Now, to be clear, I'm not claiming the 28-70 can replace Canon's newest RF L series primes. Those lenses also raise the bar significantly. But when it comes to producing high-quality images that satisfy demanding clients, you might not need the primes. The 28-70 can absolutely hold its own. Full disclosure, I do own all those primes because I love top-tier optics. But if you took them away, I could still confidently run my career with just this lens for the most part. The best way to sum it up is I can't think of a lens that has a more useful combination of focal range and maximum aperture than the 28-70 f2. And that leads me to my final reason you should consider adding the RF 28-70 f2 to your kit: time saved and gear efficiency. This lens can replace several fast primes in your bag. Instead of switching between a 35mm, a 50mm, and 85mm, you can typically cover all of that with this single lens, saving time, reducing gear, weight, and increasing shooting efficiency. For many professionals, especially wedding and portrait photographers, that means fewer missed moments and a lighter load. Now, I'll admit, I'm slightly stretching the claim that this lens can replace your 85mm, but it is just tight enough to capture that flattering headshot. Now, full disclosure, sometimes I am lazy. There have been shoots where I brought only the 28-70 because I didn't feel like packing the 85 1.2, and honestly, I got by just fine. The images still had that beautiful editorial look this lens is known for. Would the 85 have given me a different rendering? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, the client loved the shots, the agency loved the shots, and that's really all that matters at the end of the day. These shots ended up in the model's portfolio. Everyone was happy, and if that's the result you're aiming for, this lens delivers. So there you have it. Those are the reasons to consider buying the RF28-70 f2 in 2025. And yes, I did see the tariffs on it. I'm so sorry for all of you who are in the market right now. 7 years after its release and 5 years into my own use, it may no longer be a unicorn as other companies have finally caught up, but this is still the OG 28-70 f2. It set the bar for the industry, and in 2025, it's still going very, very strong. That is it for today's episode. Tell me your stories about the 28-70 f2. Do you still have yours? Do you still love yours? Did you trade it in for the 24-105 2.8? Did you get something else? Tell me about that in the comments below. And if you're a fan of this channel, I humbly ask you to click the subscribe button below. And until next time, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.